I'm Kay McKee, founder and executive director of A Spacious Place, Inc. A Spacious Place operates using what we call playground principles. The term playground principles indicates our intention to provide a safe, richly prepared environment that invites participants into creative play. A Spacious Place's playground principles represent a compilation of wisdom from the fields of education, pastoral care, spiritual direction, and even global economics. Because each principle aims toward a single goal, that of respecting and nurturing the human soul, you will note some overlap between the principles. Note that A Spacious Place employs the Montessori term guide rather than the term teacher to indicate our intent to create an egalitarian learning space that provides a range of choices for each participant. We'll introduce each principle with a visit from the educator, the pastoral caregiver, or the spiritual director from hell. They'll serve as our playground principle cautionary tales.
Let's line up all of her finished artwork along this wall. Now this one's the winner. Why, Gwendolyn, this is the best piece you have ever done. I didn't know you had it in you. Do you think you can ever top this?
The educational principle, experience over expertise, counsels us to avoid dangerous praise. Dangerous praise robs the participant of power while placing too much power in the hands of the guide. Dangerous praise creates fear in the participant regarding his or her ability to maintain a certain level of accomplishment set by the guide. Dangerous praise demeans through praise. Rather than employing dangerous praise, A Spacious Place offers encouragement. Encouragement can mean noting what is happening in the participant's process or valuing every participant's efforts. Encouragement invites the participant to provide his or her own internal affirmation. Experience over expertise also avoids comparisons, because comparisons can create disharmony in the community and can discourage participants from taking creative risks. Comparisons also inhibit the participant's ability to attend to and value his or her own voice. For this reason, we do not declare anyone's creative expression the winner or someone's latest works better than his or her prior works. We value each person and each person's creative expression as a unique gift from a unique and valued soul. Experience over expertise values the person and the creative process over any finished product. While we hope participants will create art that delights them, our primary focus is on the person doing the creating. We believe the creative act itself is rife with the potential for growth, empowerment, and transformation. Our goal is to create an environment in which each person feels safe enough to take creative risks, which is why we value creative process itself over any finished product. Our symbol for experience over expertise is a medal. Rather than fostering an environment in which some persons feel like winners while others feel like losers, A Spacious Place seeks to create an environment in which each person may recognize his or her own worth.
Come right in. Sit here. We're going to draw figures today. No, not that pencil. Use this one. Just try it. No, that's not it at all. Here, let me show you. It should look like this. I'll tell you when you've done it right.
I think I've been reborn several times.
No, that's impossible. You clearly need to read some reputable text, and then I'll be able to straighten you right out. Here, take these books, read them thoroughly, and next week we'll have a nice long chat.
The educational principle, follow the learner, reminds us to avoid the my way or the highway approach, in which the guide believes there is one right way to do art and or to think about things spiritual. A my way or the highway worldview on the part of the guide can lead to feelings of shame in the participant and can shut down his or her creative process. A my way or the highway teaching style expects each participant to press him or herself into a mold prepared by the guide, rather than expressing the unique shape of his or her soul. At A Spacious Place, we also avoid placing ourselves in the role of official God/art expert. The God expert approach sets up an environment in which the guide is considered more God-connected than the participants. The God expert approach trivializes the participants' spiritual experiences. The art expert approach sets up an environment in which the guide is considered more art-savvy than the participants. The art expert approach trivializes the participants' creative intuition and expression. We also avoid the "here, let me help" approach, in which the guide does most of the creative or spiritual work for the participant. The guide rushes in and rescues the participant without asking permission. Instead, we set up an environment rich in choice-making opportunities. Participants feel safer and more valued when they are provided with a range of choices for creative and spiritual exploration. We invite participants to choose activities based on their interests. Also, we flatten the field by rejecting a hierarchical style of teaching and adopting a more egalitarian approach. Guides and participants share equal power. Guides remain open to learning from participants. While the God expert approach tends to destroy the participants' trust in the guide, flattening the field, with its emphasis on equality and respect, builds trust and relationship. Last, we favor the "you can do it" approach, in which we encourage each participant to do all he or she is capable of doing. True, watching someone struggle is uncomfortable. So when we sense a participant growing overly frustrated, we ask, "Do you want help?" And then we seek ways to involve the participant in completing the creative task with us. We challenge, we do not coddle. Our symbol for Follow the Learner is a set of paper dolls. Rather than favor a one-size-fits-all approach in which every participant is taught in the same way, Follow the Learner seeks to provide an environment adapted to each participant's learning and creative style.
Glad you came. See you next time.
My grandmother told me I was gonna burn in hell because I don't come to church.
Now what you need to do is forgive her. Have you done that?
Well, no.
Well, why not? I mean, how could you not forgive her? I had something just like that happen to me until I forgave, I was miserable and pretty useless. You come to my class next Sunday. We're studying forgiveness. I'll bring along some books about why you need to get on with it. You're not hurting anyone but yourself, you know.
Yeah, well, I'll be going now.
See you Sunday.
I think I have to wash my hair next Sunday.
R&R, for Respect and Respond, comes from the field of pastoral care and encourages us to note when something a participant does or says rouses uncomfortable feelings in us. We may feel anxious or fearful or angry, but we choose not to react out of these emotions. We choose to respond out of love. How do we act when we respect and respond? First, we do not assume an all-knowing position, in which we assume we know from our experience what is best for another person. The all-knowing position robs participants of their own experiences and voice. We also avoid the fix-it shop approach, in which our own anxiety leads us to take over God's work in a person's life, rushing through his or her questions to quick answers, running away from his or her pain. The fix-it shop approach is designed to get people tuned up and back out on the road so their pain does not discomfort us. An important caveat here. It is also important to love ourselves as we love our neighbors, so neither do we invite participants to disrespect our time and needs. Instead of the all-knowing position, A Spacious Place favors a not-knowing position, in which we invite a participant to share his or her experiences from his or her own perspective while we listen with genuine interest, openness, compassion, and a desire to learn. We avoid making assumptions, giving unsolicited advice, or passing judgment. Also, when visiting with participants, we pose open-ended questions that invite disclosure, signal interest, and encourage self-awareness. We ask these questions gently and compassionately, with respect for personal privacy, so participants do not feel they are being judged or interrogated. We choose the question mark symbol for R&R for 3 reasons. First, if we begin to feel uncomfortable around a participant, we ask ourselves what we are feeling and why. Then we deliberately choose to respond out of love, rather than reacting out of discomfort. Second, recognizing that persons in pain need accompaniment more than they need advice. We listen and pose open-ended questions rather than giving unsolicited counsel. Third, we value the space questions create, so we do not rush into the comfort of pat answers.